Right, so this came across my Twitter feed as something someone had a successful run with in the Open over the weekend on Magic Arena. It's using the new buffed Symmetry Sage here, so now an 0-3 that gives something 3 power until end of turn, which is pretty sweet. And then Harmonic Prodigy says whenever the ability of a shaman or wizard you control triggers, it triggers an additional time. So this can trigger twice per spell if you've got Harmonic Prodigy out. We've got Dreadhorde Arcanist to flash back cheap things from the bin. Symmetry Sage can also give Dreadhorde Arcanist extra attack to allow it to flash back 2 and 3 cost things. We've got Soul-Scar Mages and Reckless Charge. I like the look of this aggressive shell with Wellspring as a companion here. And Jack, thank you for the 5 sub gifties. That's super generous. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, let's try some Woozards, huh? Let's stand up for a little bit, too. We have an appropriate Coalescence Apparel shirt, the Attack You, for our aggro deck today. Alright. Pretty reasonable 6-card keep. We'll bottom a Riverglide Pathway. And this gets extra attack when we have 2 things in our bin, so we'll get to go Crash plus Consider here. He says before his opponent plays Esper Sentinel. This card's so good against us. I think I'm just gonna consider and pay the extra 1 here. Alright, well, definitely doing another one of these. Man, it feels like we're just gonna get buried at this point. Okay, there's a way to kill one of these at least, I guess. Ooh, Symmetry Sage works pretty okay with Ghitu as well, right? Because you give this base 3 attack and then it gives itself +1. I think we're just spending 3 to kill a Sentinel without letting them draw cards. Let's play a spell-based deck, chat. It'll be fun, chat. Modern Horizons really is just an incredible pit stain of a format, chat. Magic's non-rotating formats were markedly better before they started doing all these direct to non-rotating format sets. think we can reasonably come back from here. I have 2 lands in hand, 3 lands in hand, and they have 2 Sentinels, a Soul Warden, and a Voice of the Blessed. There's actually 0 additional removal spells in our sideboard. All right, I'm just going to concede the Polarized matchup and go to the next one. Oh, by the way, chat, sorry, I was responding to a person on Twitter and blocking another that was acting in bad faith. Hasbro had their quarterly earnings report for the year for the first quarter of 2022, and despite what Reddit and Twitter told me about Alchemy going to kill Magic and Magic Arena, Magic Arena had 6% revenue growth in Q2 of 2022, and Paper Magic had 7% revenue growth. Oh wait, that might actually, let me rephrase. What's the exact quote? Hasbro digital gaming overall had a 6% revenue increase, with Magic Arena leading the cause for that growth, which means Magic Arena likely grew more than 6%, offsetting losses in other digital ventures. Because I highly doubt all of their digital ventures were profitable. So their entire digital segment grew by 6%, with Magic Arena leading the growth. Yes, and Kamigawa Neon Dynasty was the best-selling winter set by a significant margin. Shillon crash through for now. How come Neon Dynasty did so well? Because it is literally the best post-fire design set we have had. No, I don't even think it's just the plain Quarth. Like, the actual designs on the cards are really good, and the formats play really well. The current standard format is the best standard has been in a post-fire design world. They didn't. So one of my buddies put it really well. The reason why Neon Dynasty is such a good set is because it's the first set in a long time that gave us new things to play with. It didn't just give us better things to play with. A lot of modern Magic design has just been taking the power level ratchet and cranking it, and it really feels like they meaningfully innovated with this set for the first time in a while. We didn't just make better cards. What if I just try and race them here? What if I go like Ghitu? I guess I can do that next turn. I kind of want a Harmonic Prodigy here. Well, I might not have as good attacks next turn. We could Ghitu and then like Lightning crash through, and then this will be a 4-3. and then we'll be able to attack for a bunch. I think that's the play. Let's be aggressive here. Okay, that's gas. That'll be really good next turn. This will be the second spell in our bin, so this is a 4-2 with haste now. I think that trade's good for us. Library Exile. And then next turn, I can Dreadhorde Reckless Charge and flash back an Expressive Iteration. Well, I get to do both, right? Do I want to crash through? Like, this already has trample. He's gonna Wizard's Lightning their face. Shamans and Historic isn't very good. It's not consistently linear enough, and it just gets... It's not consistently linear enough, and it folds to interaction too hard. It's like a fine best of one deck if you want to pop off on occasion, but you just don't win matches of Magic consistently with it. It's not something that I have that much fun playing on stream. I mean, Divine Purge isn't really that different than any of the other cards that gave you a bad time in the previous format, right? Like, you already had a bad time against things like Anger of the Gods. Divine Purge is just another one of them. The Angels deck sees play in best of one, but in best of three, Angels has a pretty mediocre control and food matchup, which are both pretty real decks. So play with fire seems not great here. I don't know if this is a null matchup. Spell Pierce sounds good. Yeah, Finding. Our opponent is also playing a brew, yes. Deal. We Symmetry Sage on one. Do I want to hold up a Spell Pierce on 2? I kind of think I do here. I'm just gonna Soul-Scar and pass. I would love an Expressive Iteration. Thank you for asking. Are they dead? So if I cast all of these, I add 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 power to the table, 8, 9, and then each of these is 2. They're exactly dead, right? If I cast all 3 of my spells, right? Let's just count this again. These are, I have 2 to start, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I just spell pierce my own spell and I kill their thing. This is a turn 4 kill while having held up mana to counter their spells. This is a turn 4 kill while spell piercing them and lightning bolting their blocker. Like, that's like legitimately impressive, right? Like, our goldfish while interacting was strong there. Sweet. Let's play some more games. Let's see if this can consistently put up metric things. Symmetry Sage buff. You know, it's funny, chat. It's been a little while since we've done Jeff Does social media, but this is really funny to me. While we were killing someone with buffed Symmetry Sage there, I was responding to Ben, who I think Ben means well, but the issue is that Alchemy rebalancing historic versions of cards by default was a real net negative, which is just like, in reality, this is my feelings on that. It's a vocal minority being idiotic about purity. In practice, Alchemy rebalancing has not negatively impacted historic at all. And if anything, this Symmetry Sage rebalance seems like it's added things to the format. Like, the cards that have been nerfed because of Alchemy weren't really seeing historic play. And there's been a few things that they have buffed that have seen fringe historic play. Your cobbled together sideboard seemed good. Maybe. I played against mono white, which I ended up conceding to. I think I need some more removal in the sideboard. Well, so here's the thing though. Aspirant being nerfed isn't the reason the humans deck stopped seeing play. The humans deck was never very good to begin with and just got completely outclassed. These Reckless Airstrikes are bad. I should trim those. These Annuls are probably bad. Oh, and you know what's better than Roiling Vortex, I think? We should just play some Rampaging Ferocidons. No, I don't think we want to play Unholy Heat. I do think I want some spot removal, maybe. Would I rather play Pillar of Flame or the instant speed one that can't hit face. Yeah, Flame Blast Bolt or Pillar. Flame Blast being an instant is nice, and I'm basically only bringing in Flame Blast against creature decks. Here's the real answer, chat. I'm gonna play 2 of each. Gonna decline blocking warriors this morning and split it. You have Flame Blast Bolt in the main deck. I think Flame Blast Bolt in the main deck is an incredible mistake in a deck like this. I think you want all of your main deck spot removal to double as reach to go to your opponent's dome in a pinch. I think Flame Blast is fine out of the sideboard, but there's an argument that, like, these Play With Fires should be Pillar of Flames if we want some more exile. Yes, that's also true what Violet Journey just said. Sorcery speed is a lot less limiting in these Prowess style decks because Prowess encourages us to play our spells proactively to begin with anyways. It's definitely big true. Alchemy was a mistake. Okay, so that's not a timeout, chat. That's for mods at home. For mods at home, things like saying Alchemy was a mistake, that's a ban. You could just ban those people. People that are gonna make blatant statements like Alchemy was a mistake are low IQ idiots that you're not gonna be able to reason with because they're toxic assholes who are going to not allow other people to enjoy things. But Jeff, you were just rude to them. Yeah, they were rude to me first, so they can bugger off. It is perfectly fine and reasonable to tell me, Jeff, I don't enjoy Alchemy, and I'll tell you that's great and fine, and you're not required to enjoy things. Magic's a great game that's a lot of things to a lot of different people. But what's not okay is to tell people that the thing that they like was a mistake just because you don't like it. I want the land here. Obviously, we're taking a land. Go ahead and get rid of this. I think I'm actually binning this. I have another threat in my hand already, and I kind of want to find like a Expressive Iteration or something to generate some card advantage. Or A-Symmetry Sage to flash back Expressive. Hey, Archmage, thanks for 17 months. Welcome back. I assume you mean Alchemy, Greb, and yeah, that's a good way to put it. Alchemy haters are becoming the militant vegans of MTG. I agree with you that the Magic Arena economy is bad. However, the Magic Arena economy being bad is something that was true irregardless of Alchemy existing. So it's very silly to get hung up on Alchemy is bad because the economy is bad, because it's always been bad. Thanks for that 13 months, Big. And I'll agree with you that the economy's not good. No reasonable person is going to defend the Magic Arena economy. However, reasonable people can and will reject the fact that Alchemy is responsible for the economy being bad, because that's independent of the format. I guess I could Soul-Scar and then shrink this. I don't know, I kind of want to offer the 3-for-1 trade, because it's like already drew a card and stuff, so I think that's fine. Yeah, Alchemy just made it more apparent that the economy wasn't good. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine if that was the last straw for people. It's super, like, if you're not having fun playing a game and you don't get your money's worth out of playing Magic Arena, stop fucking playing it. But don't blame the thing that I like and tell me that the thing that I enjoy is bad and was a mistake because you're salty about the fact that the Magic Arena economy is bad. In fact, unlike the dozens of large Magic creators that will profess to you that they hate the Magic Arena economy and it's bad and toxic, I put my money where my mouth is, and there's a reason why I stream more than just Magic, despite streaming non-Magic games costing me money. The best thing you can do, if you're unhappy with it, is play other games. Don't be like the people who are all in on Magic and they're like, this is awful, it's terrible, but here's all my money and all my time. And it's just like, those people are hypocrites and idiots. They're not going to affect any actual change regardless of what they pay lip service to. All right, and with that, we are moving off of the economy discussion. It's already been way too long. Here's a video with my thoughts on it if you haven't seen it before. Reiterate everything I just talked about there. We're moving on from it. I'm timing out people that are going to talk about it from here on out. Life's short. Play games that you enjoy. Don't play games that you don't. If at any point you are playing any game, whether it's Magic or Pokemon Unite or Elden Ring, and you're not having fun, stop playing it or play it in a different way. And I know that that's not the answer a lot of people want to hear, but it's the truth. I'm gonna play with fire this now, so that way they can't get delirium in response. We're looking for card advantage and threats at this point. For Alchemy, do you wish there were clearer guidelines for why they buff cards? Like, okay, and I don't know how to say this without being condescending, so I'm just gonna say it. Is it not abundantly clear how they're buffing cards? Like, we've had 3 or 4 balance patches at this point, and it's very clear to me, looking at how they've approached buffing cards, that they have a very clear plan. In fact, they've actually articulated their plan in the fucking articles if you go read them. Their goal when making buffs in Alchemy is to take archetypes that are underpowered and make them potentially playable and constructed. That's why every time they do a balance patch, they take entire archetypes and buff a bunch of cards in them, trying to make them playable. They've done this with zombies, they've done this with Venture, they've done this with elves, they've done this with warriors. It's like at least 4 offhand. There's probably 1 or 2 more I'm missing, but like, they've been clear. Do I wish they were, like, I don't know, what do you want from them? What do you not understand? Because this is a you problem, it's not a them problem. Wizards notoriously sucks at communication, but this is not one of those times. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We're gonna put sub mode on because I'm tired of explaining to people what reality is. You want to make my blood pressure go up, throw me a $5 first, please. Well, that's not terrible because we have Soul-Scar Mage in play. So this'll shrink the Obosh at least. The attack's a little dangerous, but I need to end the game. Raise your blood pressure for a $5, something GOP. Thanks for the biddies, Bob. This is actually an attack for 8 because of the Obosh here too. Oh, they're just hanging out. It's good for us. And I can just make a blocker, so I don't really have anything to do other than play this and pass. If you're a new person to Ace Defender, it should go up automatically, Silver. The promo for Ace Defender is just for new players, though. So if you're someone that's done it in the past, you will not count in that ticker. I feel like we're probably dead at this point. They've stabilized a little bit. We've just drawn more lands than they have. It's a rough beat. Oh, these aren't odd because they don't have a backside. These didn't trigger Obosh off of this because these have the flip cards have the CMC of their backside, and there's no backside on this card, so it's just 0. That's funny. We're still dead here, but that's good to know for the future. Opponent's build is sweet. All right, some Flame Blessed Bolts and some Pillar of Flame sound good here. It's a rules interaction. I'd miss 120% of the time paper. Yeah, me too. For sure. I want to trim here. It's like a couple of Reckless Charge. Let's try that. All right, chat. So if you weren't here, we had a Q2 earnings call that said paper magic was up 7% in profits and Hasbro digital was up 6%. So naturally, we also have, by the way, here's a pricing update for Magic stuff and an approximate 11% price increase across products like Masters, Modern Horizons, Secret Lair, Challenger decks, and Universe Beyond. Oh, late stage capitalism, chat. Oh, it's so beautiful. And that, to break my own rule and talk about the economy again for half a second, this is why the Magic Arena economy, I'm just numb to it. Because that was talking about paper, chat. Magic has always had an awful economy for the consumer. It's not unique to this platform. Record year-over-year profits. Q1, we're up again. What do? Raise the prices. Oh, thanks for the follow, Friedstone. Thanks to whoever checked out the Ace Defender promo. Appreciate you supporting the content with that. You gotta laugh, chat. You gotta laugh. Where is that article? It's on here. Oh no! Hand meat cookie jar. They're gonna take our consider, chat. We made a lot of money and we liked it. They made some cash and they liked it. The prices are rising. Do 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 do. Oh wait, they didn't take my consider. All right, chat. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just assumed my consider got taken while I was humming along. Obviously, we should have considered first. Minor mistakes were made. Yeah, I don't know, Bob. It's like, Stockholm has got to be the answer, right? Feels like that to me. I agree with your take. All right, so we're gonna attack them down to 14, and then I have 7 in my hand. And I have 7 in my hands. About that weather, it snowed in Michigan yesterday, apparently. Which I guess doesn't surprise me too much. Today is actually my 9-year wedding anniversary with my lovely wife, and it snowed on our wedding day. I'll keep an Arcanist. Great, down to 6. It's really easy to remember how long I've been married for, chat, because I just have to add 1 to Jake's age. And Jacob is 8. Does she know it's been 9 years? I'm sure to her it's felt like 90. Life gain is cheating, chat. All right, Static Discharge off the top is lethal. It's a good system, Beal. Use our wedding anniversary for our Wi-Fi password. We use phone number plus area code. They didn't draw Obosh last turn, so they have something to do with their mana? Okay. Great. Any instant or sorcery next turn's a good draw, because it would let Dreadhorde flash back a bolt out of the bin. And if their card's a blank, any instant or sorcery could be lethal, actually. As we give Arcanist attack, and then Arcanist flashes back to give Symmetry Sage attack. Gosh, they drew a removal spell. We still have lethal draws here. Any deal 2 or 3 is lethal. Really close game. Rats need them to have nothing. Oh, 1 mana murder is so good, chat. We still have... Wait, why didn't they play their Obosh out? Alright, we still have deal 3s as lethal draws. Oh, you know what? They didn't realize the backside interaction with the tokens. They must have thought this wasn't odd, or they clicked through it. Either way, GG opponent. Close set. Lost 2 pretty narrow games on narrow margins there. Unholy Heat's a heck of a card. There's been a actual factual full mono red deck running around Historic too. I think we're gonna do Historic decks most days this week, trying to see if there's anything else going on in the format since the new set's coming out next week. We'll do Standard or Alchemy each day too still, but I think one of our decks is gonna be Historic every day for the rest of the week. Is my plan at the moment. I use the current markup on insulin as my pin because that's always 4 figures. Ah, America jokes. America, do do, be do 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 do. I don't think the Enigmatic deck is likely good enough that I intend to play it without someone paying me to try it. I'm gonna set the bar there. Unless they put up a result that I missed. All the historic decks we're gonna try this week are decks that have put up results in at least minor tournaments. So, no guarantees that they're good, but at least they've got. Someone has shown that they might have some legs before we kick the tires on them. Man, if they don't interact with our board, we're gonna get to turn 3 Static Discharge twice with the Dreadhorde Arcanist Symmetry Sage. Like... And remember, chat, if you have a deck list that's probably bad that you would like to see me lose with for an hour as part of the Every Plate promo we have going on, if you live in the United States, for as little as 25 bucks, you can get some delicious meals shipped directly to your door and get a deck submission with it. Dinner and a show. What a deal. What a deal. You know what else is a deal, chat? Getting a double Static Discharge. How's our deck doing? It's really good when our opponent does nothing and dies. Incredible, even. I have no idea what their deck is doing, chat. They, like, played a Nighthawk Scavenger and died. I'm gonna cut a couple of Play With Fires and board in a couple of extra Spell Pierces. And, like, our Goldfishes have been consistent. Symmetry Sage was a sweet buff. His hand's so close. Is this straw lucky or unlucky, chat? Please someone let me know in a comment. Longhorn, thank you for the 3 months. Welcome back. Why not both? Let's do this actually. So we go ahead and get a scry here. Our deck's still looking good into the doing nothing matchup. And Library Exile. Yeah, Monastery Swift Spear would be a great addition to this format, no joke. Agree that that one would be good. I really hope they give us some kind of Pioneer Masters, not Masters, Pioneer Anthology when they add the new format to the platform. Because like something like Swift Spear is an easy format staple that like is super trivial to program too, right? Like there's not programming complexity with a lot of the cards that would be good to add. Sweet memes are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Do 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 do. Everybody do 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 do. A-Symmetry Sage is probably pretty scary in their deck. They look like kind of a mono red version of what we're doing. I'm just supposed to play the other Arcanist out here. They're gonna get to go Bolton, Shatterskull, Chandramite, Dreadhorde next turn. So they're gonna been married to getting this other Dreadhorde out ASAP to work around that. Be able to flashback something right away. Burning Tree into Chandra is pretty good.
Play with fire, huh?
Oh. Huh.
See ya.
Deal?
disaster.
Can I afford to shock to play Soul-Scar Mage here? I think so. So I'm gonna want a prowess creature when we ship next turn, right? Them blocking with Siege seems good for us. If they have like a sweeper, I'm gonna be really sad here, but they're playing a brew, so I don't really know what I'm supposed to be playing around. Like we could realistically get like Angered or Sweltering Suns here and then be pretty far behind, but I don't think that's worth playing around in the dark. They gotta kill Symmetry Sage here, right?
Hey, over here. Oh, today's my lucky day.
Zero respect, chat. Actual, factual, zero respect for the old Symmetry Sage. And they're actually just dead on board, right? Because like I have 2 guaranteed spellcasts from my bin. Couple of Hermits for blockers here too. I need to put my Borderless Spell Pierce in this deck after this match. Symmetry Sage is the Rodney Dangerfield of Historic. I'm gonna profess to not understanding that reference. You don't get no respect. Okay. Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Who am I to disagree? That's a quality series of lyrics, if I ever heard them myself. I will have you know I am firmly set in the center of millennials. I guess I'm a little closer. No, I'm right about in the middle, right, shit? I'm 31. Millennials right now are 24 to 40, right? 25 to 40. I believe I'm almost exactly in the center. Whatever you say, Boomer. Okay, Boomer. $96. I thought it was longer than that. Has our opponent left, chat? Symmetry Sage might have been so devastating it won the entire match that game. I do get Oregon Trail references. We played video games as a adolescent. The old trample over into the next game. I was going to be a lot of damages, to be fair. We probably could have done an extra 20. Oregon Trail card game. Can't say that I have. It takes so long for them to actually lose the game when they leave during sideboarding, chat. Cause this, do they lose here? Or is it the next one? Okay, they actually lose here. Okay. Alright, let's put our borderless spell pierces before we forget again. The Ace Defender IP is definitely what I would refer to as fan service fantasy. I do not intend to play a non-rotating format in Best of One. That does not sound fun to me. If that's your kink, I'm not gonna shame you, but I really don't like Magic's non-rotating formats in Best of One settings. Oh, chat! We're getting our digital premiere play announcement on Thursday. Hopefully it's as good as the paper premiere play announcement. The Magic paper premiere play announcement was genuinely good. Genuinely good. Hey, Mr. Wilson. Hope your pup's doing well. Thanks for 32 months. It's a digital premiere play announcement. It's going to be a piece talking about how digital Magic will tie in more fully to Magic's overall organized play system. Which they actually hinted that we're going to be getting constructed events that tie into organized play, so you'll be able to interact with the organized play system a little bit more if you're in more ways, sorry, if you're an all digital player. Your opponent, please don't kill my board. So what you're saying is, get my biohazard suit clean before embarking onto Magic Twitter Thursday. Thursday afternoon, but yeah, that is basically what I'm saying. Alright, chat, to set a low bar, Symmetry Sage seems better than Delver of Secrets. You've managed to limbo that one. That was double Phoenix into the ban. Yikes. Oh, they didn't have a land. That's so good for us. So good for us, chat. And library exile. I mean, that's lightning bolt, right? Go. Your move, Yugi boy. I need Trample in this matchup. I think Reckless Charge is kind of mediocre against the more interactive heavy decks, even if it was fine there. Bring in the Pillars, the Flame Blessed Bolts, and the Soul Guide Lanterns. By the way, for the Pokemon Unite fans in the audience, we're going to be playing that after Magic today as we do every day, but I updated the tier list playlist with a new video last night if you missed it. It had been a little bit and the format's developed a lot, so there's a lot of good things to say in there if you want my thoughts on the current Pokemon Unite metagame. This hand is more than good. It's great. Huh. Do I Sage crack them for 4? Wizard Lightning the Dorat? Or do I just get Dreadhorde Arcanist down and try and beat brace them? Beat bracing them has a lot of appeal. I don't know if this line is correct, but I'm feeling it, chat. This is definitely the content play. Okay, and then I think we just slaughter their board next turn, right? It's like Symmetry Sage, double Wizard's Lightning attack you for a bunch. Hey, Big Angry Hobo. Thanks for hanging out for 10 months. Welcome back. Sage Arcanist chat has been real good. Hey, thanks for whoever checked out the Ace Defender promo. Appreciate the support. I'm going to be playing some of that after Pokemon Unite at the end of the stream today. Yeah, Static Discharge, Dreadhorde Flash It Back is strong. It's like a build our own build our own deal form. If they don't interact with our board, they're just dead next turn, right? Okay, good stuff. Oh yeah, they have to attack here too, right? So just super dead. Even if they held it back as a blocker, they were dead. But the fact that they have to attack now because they hit Delirium means they're super dead. Super duper dead. Do 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 boo do. The goldfish consistency on this one has been pleasant. We have had a scotch of interaction while we race them a lot of the time too is key. The fact that all of our reach doubles as, or all of our removal doubles as reach is super strong. Jeskai Orvar Feather, yeah, I'd be down for that. Also keep in mind, Wargy, if you live in the US, I believe you do, that the every plate promo gets you a free deck submission as well. If you want to get some eats along with your deck submission. Next turn, we get to go Sage, Crash Through, attack for 3. You can chill on a 2-step Keith if something doesn't come across your fancy. I wanna wait and see how New Capenna shakes a little bit. Gosh, Chad, our deck has a really strong matchup into our opponent not taking any relevant game actions. What's going on, Dr. Sinson? Yeah, I think we're gonna explore a bunch of historic for the rest of this week, since we're waiting for new cards for standard and alchemy stuff. It's a good time to poke at non-rotating formats. Was that turn 3? Turn 4. Turn 4. Because we played this on 2, and this on 3, and we attacked this turn. What's going on, El Dude? Welcome back. Thanks for closing in on 3 years. I think Play with Fire is out against the control decks. We bring in some extra counter spells, click submit. Could be right to bring in Rampaging Ferocidon just for threat density. That's right, let's try this to start, see how it feels. I don't really know what the opponent's doing yet. I love when I never find out what the opponent is doing. It's unlucky, really, Mask. Ooh. Pretty good turn 2. Charge! Can you believe the audacity of this opponent, chat, interacting with us on the second turn? The sheer audacity. Hey, thanks, Adam. Appreciate the 27 months. Hope your travels are safe. I believe your face is the place opponent. It might have been right to wait to play the Symmetry Sage. So that way if I hit a 4th land, I can get past sorcery speed removal. It had instant speed removal, so it didn't quite matter. Yeah, it's been pretty reasonable so far, Marty. no. Oh, no. All right, sometimes lucky.
I shall miss your company.
Sometimes lucky. A true God bless America, my country. 'Tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. All right, we're gonna board out the crash throughs against the 4X Narset deck. We're gonna board in a couple of Rampaging Ferocidons and click submit. Yeah, it's fine. We'll get them on the plate, chap. Magic's a really well-balanced game that in no way, shape, or form gives the aggro deck an incredible advantage on the play. So they'll be fine, I'm sure. I think we lead on Prodigy here, most likely on 2. Because that's the one I care less about in terms of getting it exiled or removed right away. Yes, Prodigy does trick double Arcanist attack trigger, which is great. How grumpy he is, chat. He is not pleased with your nonsense. It's a disappointed, very disappointed. Man, I am not looking forward to Supreme Verdict being added to this format. Please, please make that the very last card added from Pioneer Legal Cards, please and thank you. And Library Exile. Unfortunately, we don't have anything for Arcanist to flash back at the moment. I think if they cast a second Disruption, I let this get countered to hold up Hermit. Papi! They cast one Jawari Disruption before they died, chat. What did they keep? Chat, you're allowed to mulligan. Mulliganing is a legal Magic the Gathering play. You don't have to mulligan, you get to mulligan. Running them down. Climbing on up the ladder. The Symmetry Sage buff has been super great in this deck. This deck is definitely not playable without a buffed Symmetry Sage. So big shout outs to Alchemy and Rebalancing for adding a new sweet deck to Historic. It's been unreal better than Delver Navier. Symmetry Sage is like Delver of Secret's older sister that mom and dad keep expecting Delver to live up to, but Delver fails spectacularly every time anything's expected of it. What was Symmetry Sage before the buff? It was an O2 that gave things 2 attack. No need to call me out like that on a Tuesday. Listen, chat, we all wish we could be like Symmetry Sage, okay? She sets the bar pretty high. Lovely, lovely lady, this buffed Sage. She's so swole, chat. Yep, yeah, lead Soul-Scar here, and then we get to go Sage into Reckless Charge next turn. Smack for a bunch. Dunk. My poor Reckless Charge, chat. Food deck might be hard. Yeah, possibly. Let's find out, huh? Hand, library, exile. I think we play with Fire the Goose. Fun, inviting, replayable, exciting. Those are the 4 words that come to my mind when I see a Cauldron Familiar and a Witch's Oven in play together. It's actually just crazy how in tune with my brain these designs are. Cauldron Familiar is definitely has some replayability. Wrench. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. Right? They might be dead here. They gotta exile the Reckless Charge, right? They're dead either way, but we'll get it with this one. Make them think they could have saved themselves. Crash through seems pretty important here. Trample is good into their cats. Bolts and Pillar of Flames seem good. What do you want to get rid of? Alright, what are our cuts? Is it like Static Discharge? If we point this at a creature, they're pretty likely to be able to just sacrifice it in response, denying us the intensity increase. No, we didn't really use the graveyard that much. Like, I wonder if they're going to leave the lanterns in or not. I'll trim the statics and the lava runners, and if they leave the graveyard hate in for game 2, I will consider cutting the Arcanist. We'll see. Like, Arcanist is just like a card that tramples, which is good with Symmetry Sage. Not only did they leave graveyard hate in, they boarded in more. Noted. I mean, our deck's aggressive enough snap keep that moping around with recursion isn't really what they want to be doing, right? I don't think they want to be going long against us. That's true. They might board expecting us to be a Phoenix deck. I think that's a good take. Maybe they leave the graveyard hit expecting birds out of us. I just let this happen? Deal. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we got him. Ha! We got him. And we get to trample for 1. Just good deck building right there. Good, clean living. Oh, you know what? Playing Symmetry Sage out is wrong here because it means they can meet Hook and Clara board next turn. Forgot about the treasure. Should just played a tap land and pass since I have the Reckless Charge in hand. So I could have played this and still attacked with it next turn. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. I deserve that one. Being on the play is busted. I really hope Magic explores with better balancing play draw sometime soon. The game desperately needs it. I think being lazy and copying Hearthstone is probably better than nothing, but that's not where I would start. Treasure. Having a treasure on the draw is literally the laziest look over and copy your neighbor's homework solution that could exist. I would accept it rather than the continued nothing, but I also think that that's a bad solution. I got through college and look at me now, God bless. Feels like garbage time. If we had spells in our hand, maybe we'd be okay, but I think with 2 lands, Wellspring are probably dead. I think printing cards that explicitly benefit going second is an inelegant solution to the problem. Mostly because it means only formats where those cards are playable have the problem addressed instead of addressing the problem systematically at a fundamental level. Would much rather see them address some of the core issues rather than just try and fix it through card designs for specific formats. Yes, that's a good point too. It also only addresses the problem if you play a deck with those cards and you draw those cards. know if I can race this squirrel, but I'm gonna try. It might be right to just Pillar of Flame the squirrel here. And so it's so hard for us to outgrind their deck, though, is the problem. Their deck is so much better at being interactive than ours is. This deck that our opponent is playing is what gives me pause to, you know, is a deck like this really reasonable in this format? I think the answer is likely no. It's just so difficult for these kind of honest, aggressive creature decks to keep up into these food decks. They're just so good at what they do. Yeah, I think almost every one of the Modern Masters cards they added to this format, John, was basically a mistake. Like a lot of people like to point to the Strixhaven archives, but at this point, like all of the archives that are left basically don't really do anything. The Horizons cards are definitely the way more pushed factor of things they added. This card still having its same text box also seems not great for the format. They unbanned Time Warp, would it even be good? I'm not even sure the Time Warp deck was that good when they banned it. I was pretty opposed to that. That changed when they made it. It's nice to see Eldraine cards still being played, said no one ever. Oh yeah, that's true too. Last time the Time Warp deck was legal, both Memory Lapse and Brainstorm were still legal, right? Yeah. Oh man, their balance passes sometimes are something. I don't know what, but there's something. If we hadn't drawn this land, I would have put a stop on my upkeep and played with fire before my draw step to get the scry in to give myself an extra look at the land. But we hit the land naturally, so we don't need to do that now. Chat, I saw our opponent was at 90%, and I internally fist pumped and thought, yeah, it won't be another food deck. I made a terrible mistake. I would genuinely love to find out if Winota was playable in this format with Unholy Heat. My gut says she'd still be playable, but I also just genuinely don't know. It's such a hard thing to dissect without playing games. It's the 14 Mud Schooler, welcome back. I think I'll take another threat. Are we in a permanent chat? In this format? Even... They know Luris is legal? Winota would likely be good into these food decks. At the very least, she would force them to all put max fatal pushes in their main. Yeah, Agent of Treachery is banned, but I would just like history to reflect that Agent of Treachery wasn't even played with Winota. And Agent of Treachery is legal in Pioneer, right? And Pioneer Winota doesn't play it? Can someone fact check me on that? I'm not super clear on Pioneer stuff, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Can I get a fact check? There is a Hades playthrough up on my YouTube channel, Matt, from a while ago when it came out. Thanks for the 39 months. Welcome back. We did, in fact, escape from Hades. Because I think it took us like 2 hours. Hades was good, but short. Pioneer Winota plays Kenrith, Tolvar Huntmaster, and Blade Historian. Yeah, that makes sense. Arnaya, no agents. Yeah, that was my understanding. The Tovalor Huntmaster is the Wolf Grave Titan chat. The 6/6 that makes wolves. Or the 6 drop that makes wolves. Devilishly handsome. Thanks for the follow and thanks for the sub. I appreciate the support. This is my full-time gig here on Twitch, and I wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, I'm done playing this deck. I'm done. I had a lot of fun playing this deck against not Cat Oven. However, playing this deck into Cat Oven feels relentlessly hopeless and has sucked all of my joy out of playing Historic this morning, so we're gonna switch to some Alchemy. This deck legitimately seems fine/good into everything we played that wasn't putting cats into ovens, but the putting cats into ovens just like, I don't know, maybe you're just supposed to have a ton of shatters in your 75, but even then, it's not just the cat oven that kills you. It's also the fact that, like, those decks incidentally make a bunch of food and gain a bunch of life, making our mostly honest aggro deck just not, like, your our static discharges and our play with fires just like get countered by half their cards, right? Just like making a food. Well, they just like, they have so many anti-creature cards, right, Tumos? Like, Ferocidon and a Braid don't stop the fact that we, like, just can't kill them, right? Like, they gain so much life. Yeah, like, being interactive feels super fertile there.